Okay.
Welcome back, welcome back,
Oh.
welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
We're live.
We are live.
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes, yes. We just want to say thank you for everyone who came out to our in-person on Thursday. We had a great time. Scooty and Honey Bun.
Oh, am I out? Am I out? Okay.
You are. Yeah.
It was lit.
It really was lit. We had a great time. I mean, great time. All the insight. I'm not going to tell them about it because if they weren't here, they missed out. We don't talk too much.
It was
about
nice. So if you missed it, like she said, you missed it. You missed a great time. You just have to make sure you come out to the next
To
one.
the next one.
So when we announce it, get your ticket and come because it was nice. It was very, very nice. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I really enjoy hearing people's perspectives, even if they're vastly different from mine, because that happened too. I enjoy hearing people's reasoning for how they process. So
And that's what this is all about.
It
Just
is.
conversations.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody has their own opinion of
Yeah.
some sort. And it was just a lot of fun. I mean, there was a lot of great energy. There was a lot of great insight. I think that we worked well together. You know,
We
we
do.
want to take that opportunity
Yeah.
to pat ourselves on the back. So
And you know what? Like I always say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, there could be two kinds of rights. And I realize that more and more every time, especially at our in-persons. Man.
yeah, we enjoy it.
Okay. So let's get down to the get down. We are talking about why do people repeatedly choose the same person to date, same type of person to date over and over and over again. You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I've been told that before
Yeah.
myself, actually.
Yeah, and even people who don't think they have a type, if you were to line up all their exes, they do. Even if they don't even look alike, their personalities may be very similar, and I think it's because, familiarity. You just gravitate to what's familiar to you.
I think you like what you like.
You like what you like. You like what you're comfortable with. So, and some people gravitate to what is familiar, not just in their dating, but in the back of their psyche, what they grew up with, like the habits and those things. So you pick a partner who is very similar to your dad or your mom, who has, those redeeming traits, and you're just comfortable with that.
Sometimes I think that's the case. Not
Yeah.
that's all the time, but yeah, I think that people do gravitate to what's familiar,
Yeah.
what they know,
Mhm.
what they can expect something from, but let's talk about our personal experiences. I didn't think I had a type. I really didn't. I used to argue back and forth. I don't have a type. I don't. Then somebody did exactly what you said. They
What?
broke it down. This is why you have a type. Look at them
They
across
lined
the
your
board.
exes, that's
Yes,
why you
and I was
mentally.
like, I didn't think I had a type. And there are
What's
some
your
people in between, I guess, that didn't fit in that profile. So I know I'm open to, but I guess maybe I do. Like, I like a person who has definitely a strong male energy, but it's not
Overbearing.
over the top, and it's not loud, and it's not boisterous. It's just a cool, calm swag. I tend to like people, like, I guess, all the same complexion. I never realized that before, but maybe I do. I never realized that. And
Which I think is a form of self-love.
yeah, I think I like, if we had to pick signs, ironically, they just happen to be all the same signs,
Really?
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
just,
That's interesting.
and you don't know that when you first meet somebody. You'll be like, hey, what's your sign?
Right.
I like you now. No, it just, your body, your mind gravitates to something that is, coming from them. It's their energy, it's their aura.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think over time it's changed for me. I mean, there was definitely periods of my life where I liked the really pretty girls. Then there was, a part of time where I liked the girls that were unattainable for me.
What do you mean unattainable? Because they were so pretty?
Or just
Or-
whatever, so rich, so whatever.
Okay.
It was a challenge for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that it was a
to
challenge.
conquer.
I don't know that it was a challenge as much as, you know, I should have probably had a little bit more fear of approaching somebody, you know, or certain people. I don't. You know, anybody that I like.
Why? Why do you say you should have had a little bit more fear? Why?
It would have saved me some definite time and energy.
Mm.
It would have been better. It would have been a situation where I wasn't wasting time on people that I had to put so much work into it that it just, you know, the reward wasn't worth the work.
So was the unattainable person unattainable, or did you attain it?
Sometimes, I mean, I think every person has a story of where they beat somebody's defenses down.
Hey, anything worth having is worth working for, right?
Nah, it's so many people out here now that I
You
realize.
say no.
Oh, hell no.
It's
I
like
mean, it's
The
Nah,
numbers. It's a
you
numbers.
have to work
You know,
for it.
Let me just answer your question. It's a
a
numbers
numbers
game.
but you put all of that energy into something, and it becomes about the chase. It becomes about that energy. It becomes about conquering this person or overcoming whatever objection.
And less about really connecting with them and liking them and wanting a relationship or what have you.
Exactly.
Mm.
So over time, it's changed a lot, and I mean, I've grown to a point where I like people that like me.
Mm. So it doesn't have to be the pretty girl. It's just
She can't be like butt ugly, but I mean,
it doesn't have to be like the 10.
Right.
She can be a 7, 8, and with a beautiful personality, and that's who you go after.
And somebody that's, that I have more of a baseline friendship with. I dated a young lady, and she had a really ugly personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it was a very draining energy.
I would imagine.
And she, and I mean, she would just clown everywhere we went. She would,
She'd been fired the first night.
she was fine, but you can
Can't
laugh,
take
it's
her
okay.
nowhere.
Can't
But,
take her
but she would order stuff and then send it back, and just
Oh,
She was difficult.
So
Yeah.
she was like wicked to wait staff and all that.
yeah. But
Okay.
she has some very loving qualities and characteristics about her. Like she
When the
was,
lights were off.
no. Like she, I was busy once, and I sent her to buy a gift for my niece, and it was a very thought out and wonderful gift. And I noticed in her gifts that it was really a love there. There was like she would take the time, and it was, when she gave you a present, you were like, oh my God, thank you so much. I needed this. How
Okay.
did you know? So she had that quality.
Okay.
But just to be around her for more than an hour was,
Maybe she
draining.
was kind of a perfectionist. She just wanted things,
No,
whether
she
it was
a
food.
witch. She
was
was
what?
a witch.
A witch with a good heart. That's a real
Was she Glenda the Good Witch?
right. I'm
I
trying to figure
just
out.
always was
already.
trying to see if she flew in or out on the broom. I mean, she was horrible.
Wow.
But I liked her and dated her for a little bit of time, and I had to get away from that. So I've evolved to the point where now I like people that like me. You could be tall, short, whatever.
I want to keep us on track a little bit because we're
Okay.
kind of diverting.
I'm sorry. I always do that.
It's fine. It's fine. But when you did date and you liked all the pretty girls, did the pretty girls gravitate towards you? Because in my mind, I'm thinking that, well, you know what, men do the choosing, so that may be different. But for me, I think I attract the same kinds of people.
I disagree. I don't think that
You
men.
disagree that I
No,
attract the
no,
same
no.
kinds of
He
people?
shook
I
his
don't-
head no at men do the choosing.
I don't think that men do the choosing.
Oh, yeah,
at
you
all.
never thought that. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't go around choosing men.
I think that we.
I either accept or reject.
I mean, I like your comment earlier about energy. We receive energy from people, and that energy, without talking to them, without knowing them, without any of those things, we are receptive to that. And whatever that person is putting out there, if that's what you're looking for, you gravitate to that. So you stay a little longer, you hold the gaze, you start a conversation, you do whatever because the energy feels good.
Right.
So that's you.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, if she's giving me an energy, I'll do these things to show her. So you're reciprocating. And for me, like, I am looking for someone to show me the energy. I'm not gonna be like this.
Well,
I may look very pleasant, smile, but I'm not gonna be like batting my eyes and
Okay.
giving you. I'm not giving you buying signals like
I do.
I'm for sale. I'm not doing it.
Well, not for sale, but.
Well, that's what buying is. So
No,
I'm
you're taking it literally again.
well, that's
literally.
okay because that's
Yeah,
what I do.
Yeah.
So I I want to be chose, and then I can say yay or nay. But I'm not gonna be like, you know, winking, and I'm not doing
Let me
all
give
that.
you my number.
Yeah. So,
Well,
no.
so I think that, and I'm with you. I don't want to get too far off topic, but as far as I think women do have to give like some type of signal, like I could possibly be interested in you, because if I were a man, I'm not coming over to you if you're just sitting there looking at the floor or looking at your watch or something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
not pleasant.
Well, if you're just if you're just smiling at your friends, and really, if a man sees a woman who is with a group of friends, he's probably not going to come over anyway, because I've been told men don't like that either. But I don't want to get too far off topic. I do think that women do choose. Men may make the first move, but we get to decide who we're interested in.
Yes, we do.
So I
get to
think you guys
decide.
are saying the same thing, just differently. Because men do choose to whom they want to flirt with, and then we make the decision as to whether we want to accept or not. So we do choose. But I do think that the familiarity and what we're comfortable with, that's the essence of, why we keep choosing the same person. And it's really what is comfortable for who we are at our core. Like, what type of person do you get along with? That type of thing. So if you're dating someone, like I like comedy clubs. If I'm dating somebody who just cannot stand them, I mean, like everything I like to do, this person doesn't like to do. This probably is not going to last very long.
Yeah.
So it is, and I know I have a type. I definitely have a type. I don't like skinny. I like
I'm gonna
strong.
giggle about this all day long, and this
I know
has
you
nothing
have.
to do with this topic.
I know,
but
I know. So we're not going
She
to talk
does
about
not
that.
like skinny.
Do not like skinny men.
Please believe.
I'd rather you be
Don't like
25 pounds overweight than 25 pounds underweight. So otherwise you're going to have me feeding you mashed potatoes
Right.
in bed. It's like, I don't even want you to waste calories going to the refrigerator, baby. I got you. But anyway, I do. I like well built. It doesn't have to be. Now when I say well built, I don't mean like you're about to step on the stage and compete. You know what I'm saying? I just like a man who's built like a man, who acts like a man, who doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the mirror, because I've seen that too. And like you said, like big energy, like they call it now, big dick energy. I like that. I like a strong masculine man, but who takes charge and who's going to plan the date and who's going to drive, because as soon as I get in the passenger seat, I'm going to sleep. And I like all of that. I like a man who's going to take care of me, because I'm going to take care of you too.
So
So if I meet you and I sense that you are that type of man, that's attractive to me.
So this is for us, I mean, normal, if that's what you want to call it. But there are relationships that don't always look like or smell like or taste like peaches and cream. There are people who choose the same person over and over again, but it's a
Abusive
horrible
and
person. It's
a horror story.
Absolutely. But they do that, and you look at them and you're like, wow, how could she be in this situation again? You know what I mean? Like, you just got your nose reconstructed. Now you know what I mean, and you have another dude. It's about to.
Right.
So
And
I
not
wonder
even-
how
not-
that happens.
Not even that drastic of a thing. I know people that are, they are repair specialists. So they will take somebody that is partially broken down and fix them all up.
Oh yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Fix-a-Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain, no.
But you say not even that drastic, but that's a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very real thing. And I don't and what I said, I didn't mean to diminish it at all.
Yeah.
But there are other ways that are, slightly less obvious in terms of, that person is always repairing somebody.
They need a project.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be needed, I think,
Yeah.
and that's what they do. They look for the broken down person. Maybe it's subconsciously. They look for somebody who's, half on their foot and the other one is dragging behind them, and they just need to fix them up and make them a whole man, so they can.
For somebody else.
For somebody else, they can walk on out of there.
Okay, so going back to what I keep feel like I'm going back to the same point, but I have one of your sorority sisters actually, who's one of my friends. She keeps gravitating to the same type of man, and it's negative.
Mm-hmm.
Men who have money, but who are cheaters. But that's what she grew up with. Her father was wealthy, and he was a huge cheater. He had several children outside the marriage. So her psyche, her subconscious, that's what she gravitates toward.
And so
it's like
she's
she's a
heartbroken
magnet.
after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
She is, yeah, she can't stand it. So she was divorced. She got divorced after like 13 or 14 years, and every man she dates has money and is a cheater. Money cheater, money cheater. It's almost like she just walks into a room and is like, no, not you, not, oh, him. Yep, come on over here. It's like they sniff her out, and she sniffs them out. That's what she's comfortable with.
But we talk about energy, and she is receiving of that energy.
So let me say this. I do believe that it's correct. I believe certain people, like I may attract a lot of energy, but it's who I entertain, it's who I accept. And that is who she entertains all the time. And so like I entertain and accept the same type of person, and I think father was a certain type of way, my ex-husband was a certain type of way, a guy that I dated was a certain type of way. I think they all had a lot in common. So my subconscious picks indirectly, it's a similar man, and so does hers. It's amazing when you like really look at, if you talk to people and ask them their background and how they grew up, you will find a whole lot of, I want to say childhood trauma, but some people get so freaked out by like, oh, I don't have any childhood trauma, but we all do. Yeah. We all have baggage. We all carry it differently, but we all do. We all
That's
have
a good way to take the sting off of it. Baggage. It's less traumatic.
Yeah, it is.
I do want to kind of just look at this from the other side of it. Since we realize that energy and past baggage plays a big part of who we're choosing and why we're choosing them, and maybe why they're choosing us, because that's a whole nother thing too. People choose, like, there are a lot of guys who look for the broken woman who has a lot to offer, but she's in a shell, and then they just take her through the ringer.
Yeah.
So I mean, I call those people predators. So that's a whole nother story. But what can people do not to choose that same person? Do they go to a different, like if you're choosing your dude at the bar and he's just trash, you end up with the fuckboy every time you date somebody, then don't go to the bar, right? Try someplace else. I mean, is that the only solution? Just go to church? Pick a church dude, go to Bible talk.
It's bad people in every possible venue that you can go to. I think that you have to be a little bit more comprehensive to that. You have to start by knowing what it is that you want. And
no, that's the problem. It's the heart that wants stuff that it shouldn't.
Make a concerted effort to choose outside your type.
Right.
I did that.
That's what
it didn't go well.
That's what I'm thinking.
It didn't go well.
I don't know that you have to. I have. Let me first say this. I have no idea of the specifics of what you're saying, but I do want to say this. I don't think that you should choose radically outside of your type. You should just figure out those things that okay, because we all take a type. We have a type, so we see the things that we want. But if you get any red flags, if there's anything about you that is suggesting that, man, this person is going to be narcissistic, or this person, for me, is going to be late, or this person, it's any of those things that you see.
Oh my goodness.
First question, can I see your watch? When he
Right.
can I see your watch? All right, we're In sync. Okay.
So I mean, but when you see red flags, you have to respond to that. No
Right.
matter
Absolutely.
how much this person may check the boxes,
Yeah.
Right.
you have to really take an honest inventory of what it is that you're looking for.
It's true.
And when you start to get things that are more than you are prepared to deal with, don't hang out. I mean, we all go through stuff where we meet the representative, and the representative is sweet.
And then
And then the person is like a witch. She's flying around, just magical.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me say this. I've met two people in the past 2 or 3 months, and as soon as I sniff craziness or boyishness or jackassness, right there, I cut it off at the pass. Done.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting really good at this. Like, I'm patting myself on the back. Instead of, I used to be like very patient, like, well, maybe, fuck that. Nope. It's over.
Yeah. You're definitely getting good.
I'm getting very good at that. I cut that shit off at the pass.
It's a couple of people
Yeah.
running around here walking on their knees.
Yeah, I'm like,
Hobble.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
But getting back to your question, how do you fix that? It everybody knows what it is that they want. If you ask them to list the 10 things, they would be able to tell you.
Mhm.
But there has to be a part of it that, is this really a deal breaker, or are the choices that I'm making, because I'm the common denominator in any bad situation that I continue to have. It's me.
Yeah.
So I have to fix those things about me that allow those people into my spaces. And it starts with an honest assessment of what it is that you want. And I don't think that people are really always cognizant of that.
You said
They're
you have to
not,
fix
yeah.
those things about you.
That,
Like,
that,
That
Have
made
you-
him accept that person over and over.
or
at the same time.
overlook something that was, not
That was
part of what I
glaring,
needed
a
or what I
red
could
flag.
deal with.
So have you identified the 10 things that are important to you, and have you identified the non-negotiables in your mind?
I think that I have.
Okay. And so when you find somebody who checks a lot of the boxes but not all of them, do you say, maybe, okay, I'll give it a try?
No, because time is so important now. I'm not wasting time. If I'm getting
Well, good. I'm glad. I was hoping that you would say no.
if I'm getting red flags, I'm bailing. I'm not.
That's good.
I'm not.
Not
going
red
to-
flags, just that they didn't check a box that was important to you.
Yeah. If I see something that is amiss, I'm not going to pursue that.
Well, it depends on the seriousness and the box that it is. Is it at the top of the list or the bottom of the list, right?
But it's on the list, right?
It's on the
That's the
list.
thing. You make a vision board, you aren't going to, let me take this off the vision board because he doesn't have it. Stick to your guns. This is what you wanted. This is what you asked God for. This is what you needed. Quit making concessions.
Okay. That's interesting. It's an interesting perspective because in my mind, if I have 10 things that I want and this person has 8 of them, I might be like, okay, I'll date this person. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like, okay, you're this height, you're this weight, you like comedy clubs, you have a great smile. It doesn't have to be all that for me.
But
So I would think that, so if that person, out of a list of 10, if they have 8, you're going to say, okay, you don't have these 2, I can't date you?
in auto racing, they have a term called you're under a caution flag. So we can continue to go around the track, but you can't pass. You can't do anything other than make a pit stop
Okay.
or stop altogether. But you can't go around. You can't maneuver. You can't do anything until that caution has been removed. And I
So
think
they
that's
wouldn't be a red flag, they would be a yellow flag.
it would be a yellow flag. Yes.
Okay.
And once I saw something, or once I see something that I don't like, then I'm like, okay, this race is under
That's
caution.
fair. That's fair. Because I would be the same way. I would be always like, you didn't check these 2, so now I'm going to be very sensitive to the fact that these 2 items are your weakness or your flaws to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And over time, the more you get to know, in my experience, the more you get to know a person, the more you're around that person, you find out if those things are actually, if we have to cancel the race or if we have to, put the green flag
Right.
out, like go, go, go. So it's something that you have to kind of figure out. And I hate that it took me, into my 50s to kind of figure these things out.
But you know what? That's why we have this show, because it does. We are figuring this stuff out at 50s. Because at 20s, Lord knows, most of us did not have this together. Because I look at, your kids, my kids, they may think they have it figured out, but we truly can see, like, little things that they would never see.
True.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing this. That's why we have these conversations.
But you said, Gary, the more you get to know a person, and I agree with that, but I feel like I'm the person. The more I get to know me. It's me. It's about me.
Right.
It's not the more I get to know them. I know that I am evolving, and the older I get, the more in tune to myself and my needs and my desires and, doggone it, my non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I need. And the old saying, what's love got to do with it? It applies. If you know that there are things that you need and you can't get them from the person, or it stopped, then that may not just be your person.
Right.
But if they don't check boxes from the beginning and you've asked for, you know what it looks like when you don't have it. You know what you feel like when you don't have it. You don't even have to go down that road. Like, who cares if they get 8 out of 10 boxes? If those 2 boxes was something that you've experienced and you know you need those things and they don't have it, no. Nobody needs to be Mr. and Mrs. Fix-A-Flat. You don't need
I
to
totally agree.
get your tool kit
I am
and try
not
them.
teaching you.
Jack them up and pump
Yep.
them up with air. No. No.
I agree, but I
But I'm still fix them a little bit.
well, no, I mean, I agree with, like, I'm not fixing anybody. I'm not teaching you how to, to be a good lover. I'm not teaching you shit at 57. I'm not, just refuse. You either come with it, bring it, or, go big or go home. That's how I feel. So, like, I've been through too much, and and the more I go through, the stronger I become, and I just realize so much about, like you said, about myself, and I realize, like, why I entertained certain foolery for so long,
Yeah.
and that shit is over. I'm not going back to that.
You know better, you do better.
Girl.
Right.
Yes, I don't care. The begging, the nothing.
Baby, please,
Right.
please,
It's not
baby.
happening.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, but I do think it's what you entertain, because that people will always be in your face, like temptation or just folks will be in your face. But like your question, because we really did get off topic, your question was, how do you circumvent that type, and how do you get around that type?
How do you keep choosing that same person? What do you do differently?
How do you get around that? Right. So one of my line sisters was like, maybe you should stop dating, pretty guys. Let's just date somebody who is, good to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tried that. And he was great. He was good to me. And I probably dated him for, I don't know, for a couple of months or whatever. But he was, and so how he was different is that he was very unattractive in the face.
Okay.
And he was overweight. He was very ununattractive, and he had breasts.
He was
He had-
overweight
and he
and
had-
unattractive in the face. He went way
I
out your comfort
did.
zone.
I did. He had B cups.
Were you like trying
Was
to get
he-
into heaven or something?
I don't know.
Was he 5'2"?
And so, and then and my line sisters were like, he has titties, and so they would refer to him as titties. Are you going out with titties today? I'm like, so in my mind, every time I saw him, I was like, I can't date titties. It was terrible. So, and I felt like Shallow Hal. Did you ever see that movie?
No, but I can
Okay.
imagine.
I felt it was terrible, and to hell with anybody who sees this and is coming from me. It is what it is. And he was unattractive. He is a good person. He is a great person, actually. But I don't even talk to him anymore. But
Attraction is a big part
tried.
of
I did. Yeah, it
a
is.
relationship.
I tried.
You-
I was like, yeah, this isn't going.
yeah.
So and he just knew that if he dated me long enough, if we was it would get to something. It's never gonna get to anything, dude. It's just
No.
never. And I knew that. And
That
I was
wasn't on
like,
your vision board. Titties.
to date Shrek with titties.
Right. At least not those
I was
titties,
like-
right?
I was like,
So,
no.
Oh, well.
Mm-mm.
I do say just, do exact opposite of what you've been doing. And maybe you'll get a different result. But you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect something different. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer too that happiness is something that you give to yourself. Nobody else can
Oh
make you
yeah,
happy.
they say it's an inside job, and
And-
it's
yes.
that is very true.
And so within that, anybody that's not leading to that or doesn't have, they are showing you signs that it's not going to lead to that. I agree with your premise that you have to disengage at that point,
Yeah.
because if you are giving happiness to yourself and you know something is not making you happy, you're kind of an oxymoron if you continue on that path on some level.
So I agree that happiness is an inside job. I agree that you have to make yourself happy. But I also believe that other people can make you happy. Now you can't expect for them to make you happy. You're just unhappy in your body, in your mind, in your soul, with yourself.
They can add to your happiness.
I think they
Absolutely.
can enhance.
Yeah.
They can,
But-
absolutely.
Yeah.
But they are not going to take some miserable soul and then
Like,
have them
you make me
singing
happy.
through the fields. But you're a loving, happy person. Anyway.
I know, but I mean, like,
what is that?
but if you weren't, for whatever reason, here, I would be literally unhappy about that. I would be unhappy.
Yeah, but you'd be
So-
smiling about
Shut
it.
up.
you would still be smiling. I mean, like, what is
Smiling
that?
and crying
Yeah.
at the same time.
Like a psychopath.
Have you seen Kim? Is Kim around? Is Kim coming?
Yeah. So,
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, guys, we've talked about this. We want you to tell us how you feel. Like, have you dated the same person over and over again? Is it your energy that you're putting out there that's attracting that? Let us know. Let us know.
We'd like to hear from you.
And let me tell you, we're going to do a better job at communicating when our next event is, because people are already asking me when our next in-person event is. So when we choose a place and a date, we're going to let you know ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah. Because so many people are like, I wish I was in town for this. I scheduled
Yeah.
something. I'm out of town and I got this to do. I'm doing this with my mom. So, yeah, we'll definitely give you the date earlier. And we can't wait to see you there.
I think the number one excuse was I'm taking my kids to college.
Oh, that's what you heard?
Yes.
I had 5 people who
In
were
July?
Yeah.
Why?
They probably want to get rid of them.
But they might be athletes. Athletes have to go back
Yeah.
sooner.
Or freshman orientation, all of that sort of stuff.
I heard 5 people.
Wow.
5 people told me that they were going to Paris because the Olympics.
The
They were going
Olympics,
to the Olympics.
yeah.
Yeah. So, at any rate, you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes,
Subscribe,
thank
comment, and share. We appreciate you.
Good night.
If we were like plastic people, we could all press the
I know.
stop button. Thanks, Gary.
Well, that was a great episode.
To the left, up top. To the left, up top.
To the left, to the left.
And then end.